I have a question, Stuart, Chris. Stuart, I had a strange experience Monday night. I usually am a very sound sleeper, and I was wakened about 2 o'clock in the morning. I felt like a war was going on inside, and I felt like I was being bombarded with negativity. And Sharada Devi was really protecting me, knocking away what felt like an invasion or an incursion. I've never had that experience before, and I wondered if you could talk to me about that.
Uh, look, I hate to say this, but we all have, touches, if not strong aspects of negativity inside us. And there are times when we really hit those pockets of negativity and they come up. There are teachers in the cosmos. There's Rudy, Nityananda, Ramakrishna, Sarada Devi. There's all kinds of teachers, spirits in the cosmos that will protect us. We need protection. I remember once when I was walking on the street in Manhattan, I was jumped by a group of kids. Literally, I was right in the middle of on Fourth Avenue. I was carrying a camera that Rudy had asked me to get from the car that, we brought back from the trip to Big Indian. And they jumped me. I mean, there must have been 15 of these kids.
Yeah, God.
Get the knife, get the this, get the that. And, they ripped the camera out of my hands and they all ran away. And I got back to the ashram, to Rudy's house, and he looked at me and said, "What happened?" So I told him. And he sat me down and he gave me these two energy forces that act as a protective device for me, you know, against things of that nature. And they also act as a protective device to deal with the negativity that's inside. We all have it.
Oh.
And at some point in life, we all hit it.
Mhm.
It comes out as anger, it becomes out as cynicism, it comes out of judgment, it comes out of being pissed off at other people, but we hit it. And certainly, this practice that we do here is supposed to build a system inside that enables you to receive the protection from the universe, that enables you to receive Sarada Devi, Rudy, and these higher energies, these higher teachers in the cosmos that truly have a purpose. And one of them is to protect people living on this stupid planet of ours, where
Oh.
there's so much negativity against those forces. Now, there's something I can tell you, which I only learned pretty recently. Uh, Spirit is not positive or negative. Spirit is pure. It's God. It's all of infinite. It's just a pure, emanation of energy that comes when it comes inside of people that function with polarity, with right and wrong, and there's all these wars going on. It transforms itself into positive and negative. It becomes what a human being is.
Oh.
And becoming what a human being, that's what we give off. That's the reality that we create for ourselves. We all have negativity inside. And big part of this meditation is the transformation of that negativity into joy and love. That's our responsibility. The
Yeah.
universe's responsibility is to provide us with gas. We need fuel to run our lives. Our responsibility is to transform ourselves so that when that spirit, that Shakti, that energy comes into us, the heart is open, where the mind is quiet, we're grounded inside, we're full of love, we're full of compassion. And that's how that energy expresses itself to other human beings. That is a human being's responsibility. You understand? And people say, well, God created all this war. God didn't create, God just gives energy. It's just Shakti, it's spirit that has created this world. It comes into people and it becomes a nightmare because people spend all their time in their minds and their emotions and their sexual energy. There's endless conflict inside people, and they need to work on themselves to transform those parts of themselves where all of that negativity into an open heart, into love, into joy, into gratitude, into the sacred nature of life. So when you experience what you experience, it's just buried in there and the energy released it.
Oh,
It just releases that. And then have you developed the capacity inside to transform all of that, if you'll pardon my Bronxese shit, into into an open heart.
yeah. Oh,
So
man.
people think that God creates all this. Yes, God creates the energy, the Shakti, it comes, creates lions, it creates squirrels, it creates rabbits, and it creates tigers, creates all kinds of energies. Human beings differ because they have the capacity to transform negativity into an open heart. It's probably the only thing that differs us from animals.
Yeah.
We have the capacity. Do we do it? Well, that depends on each and every person.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much why there's so much insanity in the world. Nobody does it. Everybody's blaming everybody else. It's
Yeah.
their fault. We're going to go bomb them because they're terrible, and it's ridiculous, the whole thing. And so few people make that effort to transform themselves so that when that spirit comes in, it doesn't turn to darkness.
Wow. Thank you.
I hope this world is this way. You know, it's the Iranians' fault. It's the Jewish people's fault. Everybody is blaming everybody else instead of people saying, I got to fix me.
Yeah.
I got to fix me. What am I doing to attract all this bullshit?
Thanks. That's really helpful, Stuart. I needed to hear that bad. Thank you.
I'm glad, Chris. It's a very good question because it's a question that touches every human being, and so few people do anything about it. You
Yeah.
know, and changing. I mean, everybody is excellent at judging other people. Nobody can take a good look in the mirror at themselves, or very few people can take a good look in the mirror at themselves.
Mhm.
So it's a great question, Chris, and I think it not only pertains to you. I don't think there's a person sitting here that doesn't have within themselves the same kind of situation, that negative energy.
I feel so much better since then. And I really appreciate hearing about the protection we have about for ourselves to grow through that.
Well, if you do inner work, you do deep meditation practice, whether it's this or anything, you're going to be protected by higher energies.
Yeah, thank you.
You're going to be protected. And there's been some stuff that has gone on in the world that many people needed a lot of protection. Right now, what's going on in the world?
Yeah,
It's the same. The people need protection. I hope. I mean, when do people go to churches and synagogues and mosques? When trauma sets in, right? That's everybody runs to the church, to the
right.
synagogue, and everybody's praying to God for help, you know, instead of every day working on themselves, building a system that is connected to spirit, living with an open heart, living the quiet mind, living without judging other people, living without knowing better or being right. to justify their own ego,
Yeah.
and their own viewpoint of the world. This is a major part of what Rudy taught, what I teach, what this exercise is about. Because you can't have a spiritual life if your whole interior is full of polarity. It just becomes positive and negative, and then that creates war inside people. A lot of tension, war, craziness. And that's how it manifests in their life. And when a person begins to do it, then they take full responsibility for themselves. They don't blame anybody. I got to fix me.
Yeah.
I got to fix me. Yeah, I know there's a lot of crap that goes on in the world, but I got to fix me. I got to get stronger than all that crap. Get more open to higher energy, more love inside me. Does anyone else have a question?
May I ask another question, Stuart?
Please.
I'm wondering how Oren is. Do you have any news?
Uh, yeah, I don't have much news. I've spoken to him. I
Oh,
had a long conversation with him, and then he has a friend, a very nice young lady, lives in San Francisco or lives somewhere in California, who was, in touch with his lawyer, and she, anytime anything changes with him, she sends me an immediate email. So the last one is that nothing has changed. They're just waiting on, the judges to determine whether or not he will have another trial.
oh,
If he has another trial, they're going to let him go on bail or whatever. Right now, he's in a place in Bakersville, California, which is one of these detention camps. And he's having to deal with that. He needs our prayers. He needs our love. It's horrible what they're doing to this wonderful human being. It's really horrible.
yes.
But I spoke to him and he seems to be all right and he's dealing with it. He's
Wow.
dealing with it.
Thank you.
I tried to call him, not yesterday, 2 days, Tuesday. I called twice and both times nobody answered the phone. So it's not a direct line to him, it's a direct line to the detention camp. And they will question me and who I am and who I want to talk to. And then they will tell Oren and he will call me back. I called that number and nobody answered.
Wow.
Twice, nobody answered. So I think I'm going to try again today to talk with him. But the last time I talked with him, he was dealing with it in a very good way. It was working. He was
Oh, thank
he,
God.
he was okay.
Mhm. Good.
His friend told me that something with the court should take place in today or tomorrow
Oh,
because it was supposed to be 2 weeks. And when I first spoke with her in an email with her, it was already a week. So it was this week that decision has to be made by the courts, by some judge somewhere. It's a horrible thing. You read about this in the newspapers, and then when it hits home, you think about how terrible and inhuman this whole thing is. That people are not treated like human beings. They're treated like, the color of their skin, the country they were born in. It's all just nonsense. And it's terrible. It's a terrible thing. But he's all right. When I spoke to him, he wasn't crying and grieving and, lamenting. He was dealing with this in a good way.
good. Thank
Send
you.
him your prayers. He needs your prayers. He needs everybody's well wishes for this whole thing to work out. Does anyone else have a question? No, it is all just a fluke. He got married, Orrin. He went to get his green card, and they found something he did 5 years ago in San Francisco where he was supposed to report to some court for something, but he never got a notice about it. He never reported, and ICE took him away
Oh, God.
and locked him up in this detention camp. And I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah.
They took him away in handcuffs. What a sweet guy, kind guy, such a good human being.
Yeah.
They should take ICE away in handcuffs.
That's for sure.
Crazy people. Does anyone else I have only one announcement. I've been invited to do an interview on the 13th of this month with an organization called the Global Book Network. And they're a very big organization, and their purpose is, they find books that are kind of unknown, like my book recently, that are good books, and their purpose is to promote those books, to get those books successful. So, they got in touch with me, and after about a week of negotiating and talking to them, we finally arrived at a thing. I'm going to do an interview with one of their people and it's supposed to be broadcast on CBS and NBC and all kinds of news networks and the regular, YouTube and Spotify and all the rest of them. But I'll send you a notice. They're going to send me a flyer, with the notice of it, of when it's going to be broadcast and when we're going to do the interview. And I think the interview is also going to be live. That's what I think. I'll find out. And I'll let you all know. Does anyone else have a question? And hopefully they ask me to talk about things like I just talked about. Maybe that will catch somebody's ear. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Sure, I have a question.
Yes, Bob.
Um, there's a rumor going around that the price of your book has changed. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. It's not a rumor, it's true. Just go to Amazon, you'll see what I decided. Uh, look, between Amazon and that other one, Ingram, they sent me $60 this month. That's not a hell of a lot of book sales. And I said, my purpose is to get the book into people's hands. That's my purpose. I want people to read the book. I'm not going to get rich on this book. Yeah, if I make $1 or $2 on each book, okay. I'm not going to get rich. I will get richer if people read the damn book. Maybe I'll get more students. I don't mean financially. I mean, my life will get richer. I'll get more students, more people interested in Rudy's work. And that's not happening. And I thought that one of the reasons was the book is too expensive. So I lowered the price now. It's now $15.95. And if you want to order 10 of them from me, I will sell them to you for $12 a piece. You can give them out to friends. What a cheap gift you could give to somebody that might save somebody's life. So that's what happened just recently. And Bob helped me do that. So he asking this question because he wants to announce it then. So it's now both on Prime, on Ingram. Ingram, it'll start on the 3rd, which is tomorrow, and Amazon, it's already started. That you can get the book for $15.95, or friends can get it. Or if you want to buy it from me, be $12 a book, plus, about $6 cost of shipping. And that'll be it. It's very cheap. And you can, my God, what a gift to give to somebody that might save somebody's life if you give them away. You can sell them and make some money on them. That's what I do. That depends on how you want to do it. Wholesale prices. So that's the most recent thing. And I decided that I'm not going to get rich doing this, but I could really get Rudy's work out there. If people, I mean, if somebody called me yesterday, a friend of mine called me from Paris and just going on and on about this book, that it's not even literature, it's a spiritual book. You know, it's higher than literature. This is what he was telling me, that he and his wife, they read it every night. It's by their bedside. And these are good friends of mine. I've known them for 40 years now. And they called me up just to tell me this, that the book, because he said, you got to keep writing books. I said, oy vey. I don't want to write any more books. But you got to keep writing books. My God, what's coming out of you is unbelievable, you know? So maybe other people respond to it that way, you know, and could help somebody, you could save somebody's life. So Bob is really asking everybody to support this. That's why he's getting me to talk about it. Okay, does anybody have any more questions they would like to ask?
George,
Yes,
I want to just thank you
no, you're welcome,
my
Flora.
life and helping me.
Flora, I want to thank you too. You know, you look very beautiful and you have grown and you've become like a flower, and God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank
So
you so much.
thanking me, and I'm thanking you for doing what with your life, what you're doing with your life. Thank you. Does anyone else have a question? Hey, this is something. Okay, well, God bless you all. Thank you, and I'm looking forward. There'll be a class. Oh, Monday I have that eye thing, but there will be a class, and there'll be a class on Sunday, this class, and then Sunday evening, Pat will teach a class. So thank you, and bless you all. Have a wonderful weekend. And remember, one last thing I forgot about. This is Resurrection Weekend. You know, resurrection is not something we lament about and cry about, and it's defined. Well, let me put it in a Christian way, which I'm really not, but you know, look, Christ is that child in each and every one of us that is reborn and resurrected. That child of God in each and every one of us is Christ, is the Buddha, is Mohammed. It's all the greatest teachers in the history of the world. Is that child in each and every one of us that is crying out that it needs to be resurrected and reconnected with God and higher energy in the universe. To me, that's what this weekend is all about. So God bless you all and have a wonderful weekend and do some deep inner work and become a child of God. Be wonderful, huh? Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you,
Yes.
Stuart.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Stuart.
Stuart.
Be Seder too.